want to downgrade French Dispatch to 3.3.
No, you can't retroactively downgrade.
I just did it.
The shit is hard coded. I might to go back and re-edit.
No, you're not. But you can use this as me changing. No,
I can't believe you're downgrade after
well,
all.
no. Believe it or not, there's actually films he's seen that I haven't.
Same.
But we're here to correct that.
This is He Made Me Do It.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me.
Mr. Royal, the time has come. Your time has come. What movie am I making you watch today?
Well, I don't feel like you're making me watch it, even though you are. We're watching The Life Aquatic, not starring Steve Zissou, with Steve Zissou. And just until a few moments ago, I thought that he was some actor I'd never heard of before. A poor man's, whatever, you know.
What's your expectations going into this?
I think I'm going to be excited. Unlike you, last week when we covered our last segment, when we covered Pixels, and you were looking to tear down everything about it. I'm coming into this thing with open arms. I'm an artiste. An artesian artiste at that. And I am looking forward to this. I really am. Anytime I get to see Bill Murray, forget about it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm getting a little Owen Wilson, little broke nose. But
now that you've seen the French Dispatch, knowing that Wes Anderson also directed this, do you have any expectations as far as that goes?
You got to pay attention. Because I'm expecting to laugh, but maybe not laugh out loud. And that's because that's what it was. If it's within that same tone, then...
On that note, I want you to remember that just last night, I sat right there and my ass didn't leave that seat. I gave Pixels my undivided attention. I didn't, no distractions. I didn't get up.
What else does that mean?
I'm just like...
What do you think I'm going to do? That's what I do with every movie I've ever watched. I do that during the rewatch of films I don't get up. I'm like, that's why Viagra wouldn't hire me, because I don't get up no matter what they do.
I knew you were going to take personal offense to that. I question your ability to watch me.
Yeah, I don't have to get up to get down on what we're watching today, all right?
Well,
why don't you get out of my face?
All right, sir. You sleeping?
The hell's going on?
Are you ready? How do you feel?
Hungry.
I'm not saying anything about the movie.
Hungry? Oh, about the movie.
You know what? Just save it for right there. Paris motherfucking Bueller.
All right. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello, Guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello, Guys.
3, 1, 3,
5, 7.
What is up, internet world? Welcome to another adventurous segment of
He Made Me Do It.
I made him do it this time. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Wes Anderson, I've always been a fan, going back all the way to the Royal Tenenbaums, and I've been a diehard fan since. We covered the French Dispatch last season. I've been waking in the night from fever dreams and confusing visions. I've only just realized what they mean.
What do they mean?
You'll see. First, we need supplies. A hardback copy of A Hunted Woman by James Oliver Curwood, a porcelain angel crying tears of blood, a Mercury satellite camera, model 127, a photo of you and your daughter, the one with the My Prodigy inscribed on the frame, a gently used copy of The Office DVD board game, an NWA hat, black material, white letters, a human skull, a painting of a toilet pissing into a human mouth, a collage of my creations around a portrait of a face made up of my own and Elliot Smith's, given to me as a gift from my wife, a small figurine of Dwight Schrute, made in Vietnam, a small figurine of Moses parting the Red Sea, origin unknown, the dead shell of a locust in an old jewelry box, which I was given strict instructions to protect by my daughter, and 2 mugs, one displaying the artwork of Adeline Petlansky. Don't you worry about the other one. I think that was your first introduction to Wes Anderson?
No, introduction, but I had seen his work in the Royal Tenenbaums on King Humble, and when that movie came out, I just knew it was me to watch.
So before you launch into your thoughts, which I cannot wait to hear, the connection to this tattoo has a connection to Wes Anderson.
My favorite musician. Do you know who my favorite musician is? Adeline got her name from one of his songs.
You've said this. I've seen you say this name so many times.
He killed himself.
It's not David Bowie.
Allegedly.
No, you're. I know this guy. You said this. I feel bad now. You shouldn't ask me on camera.
I know. That's
No,
why.
can I get like give me like 30 seconds? It's so bad for screen time. Elliot.
Yes, Elliot Smith.
Yeah, there we go.
I have Adeline's name, this tattoo. My infatuation with Elliot Smith is all thanks to Wes Anderson. There's a scene where in the Royal Tenenbaums where first of all, I got into the Royal Tenenbaums because I was a Ben Stiller fan. I was like, oh shit, Ben Stiller, Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson, this has to be funny.
But then when you jump into it, you realize it's not your
this
regular
is
cup
funny,
of tea.
But for a very different reason.
Correct.
Because who's this Wes Anderson guy and what's he doing? Then in Royal Tenenbaums, there's a scene where Luke Wilson tries to off himself, and Needle in the Hay by Elliot Smith was playing, and that was my introduction to Elliot Smith. I was like, who is this guy?
So because of Ben Stiller, you found Wes Anderson and Elliot Smith.
So I went on Napster, typed in Elliot Smith.
I'm sorry for our kids out there and the uninitiated. What is Napster?
Napster was a file sharing program. This is it's kind of like Kick-Ass Torrents, BearShare, iMesh. Anyway, so that got me into Elliot Smith. So I have a long run-in relationship with Wes Anderson, and specifically with Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I was a diehard Wes Anderson fan by the time this came out in theaters. So Life Aquatic was the first movie that I saw of Wes Anderson's in a theater, which was an experience in and of itself. I was like, oh shit, Bill Murray, Wes Anderson, this is going to be fantastic.
Owen Wilson, Jeff Goldblum,
I don't even.
Kate Blanchett.
Those are all just icing on top of the cake. But for Bill Murray to carry a movie. So my girlfriend and I went and saw it, and it was like probably 14 people at a 10 o'clock showing at AMC.
Sounds about right.
By the time it was over, there were 4 people in there.
Sounds about right.
It was me, another guy, and our girlfriends, and both of our girlfriends were sleeping. When I tell you that there has never been a stronger connection and bond formed between two gentlemen that are walking out of a theater that started out, 1/3 full, and they're the only two awake laughing at the end of it. It's like, I know you, man. I don't even know who you are or what you do, but we know each other.
You've never seen the guy again, have you?
Never, but I always
The connection
remember.
is there, though.
Yeah.
Connection is there.
Yeah, I love that movie. I know it's not for everybody. So with that being said, what do you think?
Well, I think people are now starting to see the theme of why we do these, because when we say he made me watch it, these aren't just movies that people should watch. Clearly, these are movies that we love for some reason or another. We're just not just throwing them out there. But I'll say this. First and foremost, I told you this. For the longest, I've been looking on IMDb, Google, all these places. I was looking for Steve Zissou, the person. Just like in Shawshank Redemption, when Andy Dufresne created the man on paper that didn't exist. I'm thinking, like, where is this actor? Because you've always said you got to see the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And I was just like, didn't you say Bill Murray was in it? Why are you leading with this guy?
I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
until
I
you
did.
brought it up tonight. Like, that does sound weird in hindsight. It's just so
Wes Anderson.
so normal to me.
It's just so Wes Anderson. And so I'll say this. First off, I still, until you just said it, didn't know Royal Tenenbaums was what Wes Anderson. But I will say this. I saw a Royal Tenenbaums first, French Dispatch, and then now The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And I'll say this, is that his style is apparent in all of those films. And I'll say it's an eclectic style. And I'll say it, if you're a Wes Anderson fan, that, to be honest with you, probably out of all 3 movies, this would be my favorite. This one right here, out of all the ones that you might.
Too.
Okay.
It's my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Okay, good. Then we're going to get along just fine. I'll say this. One thing I want to jump right out and say is this, is that out of all 3 movies I've seen of his, now don't get me wrong, there's some scenes where if you're coming for a Hollywood blockbuster, this isn't that. But I will say this. One requirement for all of his films, at least the ones that I've seen that you've showed me in this one, that your acting better be superiorly strong. Like and if it's not, it was going to stand out on screen with these other great performances. In each one of those films, I saw great performances, and it was in this one as well too. And it just really reminded me of course, this came out in 2004, and I wrote something in a notebook which says before culture was canceled. Like, this is when it was dying. Like, it was like right before people started getting too sensitive. Like, Webster's dictionary should have an extra O. I know we have the TO and the TOO, but when people are just too sensitive.
How could you lay that slick faggot?
Well, I was in love with him at the time.
What was funny about it is that they didn't leave anything to chance. Jeff Goldblum actually came back and said, I'm a little bit of, he didn't say he was bisexual. He's like, I'm a little bit of a gay.
Of course, I have a good excuse. I'm part gay.
But and and exactly that part, and you hear the part in the beginning where he calls him what he calls him, or Bill Murray calls Jeff Goldblum what he calls him, and you would assume like, oh, he's a bigot.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's just his vocabulary.
Correct.
You find out later on in the movie
When he says,
immediately
I
accepts it.
I read everything you wrote about me, and I was going to get upset.
Would a bigot ever give a half gay man a hug?
No,
Exactly.
especially with his shirt off.
Or
and
admit
stuff.
that I hear we're all half gay.
I'm part gay. Supposedly everyone is.
Now, answer this for me, because this is going to really help me understand this. So, am I to decipher that here's the thing, they both needed each other, because that really wasn't his son, and I think and then we found out because the old girl says he only shoots blanks. So I think he knew that wasn't his son, but it was what he needed at that point in life.
And you saw what the first thing on Ned's list when he wrote that letter that reveals right before he dies, spoiler alert.
I plan to be either A, an oceanographer, B, an architect, C, a pilot. Thank you very much for your good work.
The third thing, his fallback plan, was the job he ended up doing. The
The
first thing he
pilot.
wanted to do was an oceanographer. So
Correct.
yeah, you're right. I never thought about that he needed. I always thought that it was just about Steve. Like
Both.
that.
Because why pretend to call somebody dad and do all those things? Like, he was just, if anything, he was the
And
more.
just lost his mom. Yeah,
Right.
Needed somebody, and he always looked up to Steve as a father figure.
Right. And like I say, for him to still have that letter,
Uh-huh.
like they both met each other. It was like a crazy time. He reached out. He knew that wasn't his dad. He probably wanted it to be or something like that. And for you to ask, it's almost borderline crazy, like what he did, like showing up in his life and saying, I'm not, but at least he warned him, I'm not saying you're my dad, but
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my son, right?
I don't know.
Should I call you dad? How about
Yeah.
Steve Z?
Steve Z, that sounds cooler.
It doesn't have
He
the
was,
same ring to it. It doesn't mean the same thing.
It was so unapologetic. And one thing I want to talk about, the hue, the tonal quality, and the on purpose colors of the film that were used, just so beautiful. It's rare that things are not saturated fully, but I'll say this, like, you can tell it's almost like a level right under The Great Gatsby, as far as like you can tell what colors meant stuff, and the theme.
When that pirate attack, when they do that
Oh, I
jump,
love that.
jump cut that completely that broke. Like, if you went to film school, they would tell you you shouldn't do that. You
What, the
shouldn't
pirate
just
scene?
Yeah, where they jump cut from one color grade to another.
Oh,
in the
really
same
quick.
shot.
Really quick.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, but it was a beautiful artistic choice that like conveyed like, okay, shit's heating up now.
And in
'Cause it went
fairness-
from it went from a cold to like an orange. It's like, okay, shit's heating up.
Right. It was like the only way even in this world, it's danger about to happen. But it foreshadowed what was going to happen therefore after or whatever. And
What was it? What did you take from it? Like, what do you think the message was that Wes Anderson's trying to say when he did this movie?
that sometimes, okay, we set out on a journey, and when we set on this journey, we find the thing we love. But then somewhere along the way, things become different and we lose that love.
That's what it used to be like.
And it's like life can come full circle if you allow it to be. Your life is really what you make it. Like, again, he knew that wasn't his son. He knew that wasn't his dad. Oh, the wife stayed around for so long. She used to be married to Jeff Goldblum. Like, everybody was in essence, and that's why I say it wasn't just a joke at the end. What, spoiler alert, all 12 of them are in that ride. Like, that's why everybody touched him, because he touched everybody in his own way. Even though he's this asshole, they all still stood around, because didn't you see, like, one of the most important scenes in the film is when they're all sitting around. They still love this guy. They were watching the old stuff when he found the little babies and things. And one of the things I did love is still had even though everything was never always real, like on camera. Like, it was a little bit of, it's like, so it's like you say, it's like if Jacques Cousteau was a hero. If there was a Jacques Cousteau story that could have been told, and they didn't want to finance it, they were like, well, he'll like, fucking, I'll write something else. You don't want to give me Jacques Cousteau, I'll get Bill Murray and do the Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou.
Yeah,
And it was done so well. And I'll say this, for me to know that a lot of that stuff underwater wasn't, I mean, it's 2004, but they still made it look good, but it's still in that playful world to where you don't take it too serious. And I saw Free Willy's cousin, Free Billy, or whatever you want to call it. I think he smoked one time underwater.
Yeah, I like the way the artistic approach they took to showing the animals. They all look like they were stop
The
motion
dolphins,
or something.
And even that jaguar shark at the end, man, I don't even know if that's a real thing or not, but it should be.
I don't think so. So what I take from it, and this is like using the perspective of like every Wes Anderson movie, I would really like to to like know what Wes Anderson's dad was like, because there's a running theme in all of his movies. Gene Hackman in The Royal Tenenbaums, Bill Murray in Rushmore,
And in this.
and then in this, there's always a central focus around a really imperfect father.
Think about
figure.
how it ends. But think about how it ends with him
He
carrying
picks
that
up
boy
the
and carries him through
It's
everything.
almost like he's ready.
Like Wes Anderson's riding on his dad's shoulders or something like that.
That's that character arc right there at the end, the subtle character arc, because he said, "I hated fathers and I never wanted to be one."
Because I hate fathers and I never wanted to be one.
But then he's picking up a kid and hoisting him up on his shoulders at the end. So it's like the death of his maybe son, probably not. Like I think it was his journey of like redemption. But in Wes Anderson's movies, the beautiful thing is that there's realistic redemption. No character ever does a 180. They just kind of accept where they are, and the people around them accept like nobody's perfect. And that's like the coolest thing about his characters, because he makes heroes out of a character like Steve Zissou, who's really like an anti-hero. He's bad. He's just selfish. He's sociopathic. Like when they finally see the jaguar shark, the first thing he thinks is, "Do you think he remembers me?"
I wonder if it remembers me.
Like all he cares about is his legacy, and like he's just all the character. All of Wes
he's no
Anderson's-
different between Noah and the Ark, Jonah and the whale.
Yeah,
like
but
it's
that's
easy.
the cool thing about it is he takes those characters and he flips it on their head. Like, yeah, they are imperfect. They're not somebody that you should look up to, but you know, they're just well rounded, because they get the hero shots, but at the same time they're just so like you said, unapologetically imperfect.
What are you doing? I ordered the wine. Pour it over here, please. He doesn't know anything about wine.
One of the things that I really loved is here's a callback that now, because again, I don't know how many people have seen all Wes Anderson films, or at least these three, but at least when it comes to French Dispatch and this here, that line is so much funnier now, because to me now it's like a callback since this was done in 2004. But in the French Dispatch, when, spoiler alert, Bill Murray dies and they come in and they were like, "Anybody want some pizza?" Like everybody's like, "No," but Owen was like, "I'll have a slice."
He's dead. I'll have a slice.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a payback. Like he was an ass to me. He like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll have a slice. I'll celebrate. Fuck that. Yeah. You know, so that was good. Let me ask you this real quick. Who, if you could replace Bill Murray in this role, nobody wants to, who else would you want to see playing Bill Murray?
Damn, that's tough.
Because I got mine, but I'll wait for you.
That's like super duper hard to even.
Can I say
consider.
mine first, then while you're thinking?
Yeah.
One Barney Stinson, one Neil Patrick Harris. And I know you're thinking of age difference, but no, I'm just thinking about could I believe he was an asshole? And I'm also thinking about how I Met Your Mother. Like it was always something with Barney's father. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to play that into it, so I can see him making it believable to me.
Maybe Bryan Cranston might be able to pull it off.
Oh man, hell yeah!
I think he could get into something like that. That role was written for Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Besides Bill Murray, who would you say the scene stealer is?
Besides Bill Murray in this, Kate Blanchett.
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, her and Angelica Houston were both so good in it. Is this real?
Now tell me something. Does this seem fake?
I think that might have been my favorite scene in the fucking movie. That came out of nowhere.
The dude on
Is this real?
What was up? He's like, "This interview is getting real. I'm gonna go and not be a witness to what's about to happen."
Wolodarski.
Take 5, Steve.
I like taking 5.
And Bill Murray already had his hand under the table ready as soon as that guy was out.
Now tell me something. Does this seem fake?
It reminded me of that scene. I think wrestling's fake. You think it's fake? It's open hand slap.
That's an open hand slap.
You know, standard question. I think this is fake. You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap.
And also honorable mention to our guy. I can't remember his name, but the guy that was the lawyer for the people who lived in
Did I
money.
not tell you that the fucking bank stooge guy
it was good.
was like one of the highlights of the movie?
Because you're a bond company stooge.
I'm also a human being.
Like as soon as he gets, spoiler alert, as soon as he gets rescued and they take the mask off, he's not asking for water or anything. He's like, "Did you get my message?"
You okay?
Did you get my message?
Like, why do you think we're here?
He's still in the world of banking. Like,
Yeah.
Did you get my voicemail? Did you get my
my.
pager? Could you imagine being somebody that was like on the set design crew of a Wes Anderson movie and tasked with bringing, because it's specific. If you notice,
as hell,
everything is.
There would have never been a Starbucks cup like a Game of Thrones situation going on there. No, this was.
He even has like the palette, like these are the colors. Everything will kind of observe the same palette of colors.
That same shot is used in French Dispatch, which is where when we first start the film, we see all these little different houses and what's going on inside these houses,
and everything's always blocked. For the shot.
Oh, perfect.
It all looks like a staged photograph or a painting almost. It's
perfectly.
So nice.
I'll give them that. One of the things also I would just say as far as it's some of the best narrations I've heard in films. Like, and that's it. I can tell that there's this thing about the narration, but it's again, it's not over the top. And it's good and it goes through. And then I don't know, man. Like I had little notes and everything, but I don't really need to go into the notes. So some of them were lines that people were saying. But I'll say this. Am I happy I watched it? Hell yeah. But I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's one of those movies. If I didn't watch it with you, I'd probably watch it by myself and with nobody else, because it's one of those movies to every word is so meticulous that if you miss something, then you can't answer the question to what you said. What did the movie mean to you? Or what is this? Because there were all these little throwaways. Honestly, I almost wish we would have watched it like we watched Pixels the other night. What I mean by that is with the caption on. Because I guess when you're reviewing the film, sometimes and many times I've seen these films, I still miss stuff because I think I know what they're saying. But like I say, the acting all around was really good in this. The colors were really good. Pacing's really good. It is 2 hours, but because you know you're going into it for 2 hours, you kind of cease to forget that it is 2 hours. And everybody's accent, they play it throughout. Again, I mean,
Willem Dafoe.
Oh man,
I hear what you're saying, but I think you misjudged the guy.
Oh man, no, but William Dafoe really though, like no, you said it really on that table. He should have, honestly, he really almost could have been a scene stealer if everybody else's performance wasn't so strong, and his was just as strong, but it was just more so like he was 1 day away from becoming Kenny or whatever the guy that pretended to be his son. He was like, and then Bill Murray lets him down, so he was like,
split into two groups. I'll take Ned, Ogata, and Wolodarski.
Thanks. Thanks a lot for not picking me.
Always thought of you guys as my dads.
And then he was like,
please don't
tell anybody. He was like, I can't promise you that. And like you say, to see William Dafoe not being so serious and not having to do this and do that, it was fun. And I noticed like he had the shorts on, and everybody else had on the pants, and and I love the Smurf color scheme from even though it's a little different, but the red and the blue, like it was a fun ride, man. And I'm not saying it to be funny because I know you said it about Pixels, but it really was. But again, this movie is an intelligent film. I'll say that, and so. That's why I wouldn't want to watch it with anybody. People talking and just, it's not a background movie at all. You got to pay attention.
There's layers to it. Like you could watch it and just enjoy because Wes Anderson is really good at kind of like incorporating, it's almost like Looney Tunes style, like slapstick humor into serious dramedy. And the mashup of that is so weird. So it's like a layered drama on one level where there's great character development and there's subtle things happening if you pay attention that it's true to the characters all the way through. Or you could just watch it and laugh your ass off and get really stoned because it's just as good on that level, I think.
No, ho perso la macchina da presa, mi è caduta.
Why are they laughing?
What about when they're finna say a prayer for the guy he killed, and then they're in the middle of the prayer, and then Jeff Goldblum character shows up, and Bill Murray like, you know what? Let's throw him over.
Throw him over the other side.
What about this guy?
Just throw him over the other side.
Him over the other side. That was really
that's the character development I'm talking about, because it's wrapped inside of like a quirky punchline, but that tells you so much about his characters. Like he wants to do the right thing.
Wrap this stiff in a tablecloth. We're going to bury him at sea.
But at the first obstacle, he fails. Yeah, all right. You know,
no. Don't put the gun to him. He's an intern.
Yeah,
like he getting so unpaid. He gets so much more trouble if he died. Yeah. And I thought he was going to say you're pointed over there or something. You know, he did ask the guy, "What kind of insurance did you get?"
Yeah.
So it was a little.
What would you give it out of 5?
We should have really used 10 instead of 5.
You gave French Dispatch.
I know what I gave it. I know what
3.5.
I know what I gave it. I want to downgrade French Dispatch to 3.3.
No, you can't retroactively downgrade.
I just did it.
The shit is hard coded. I might to go back and re-edit.
No, you're not. But you can use this as me changing. No,
I can't believe you're downgrade after all.
No, because I'll give this 3.8. 3.8.
Okay.
But I feel like it's so much better than that. That you know what? No. Okay, remember, we're not saying that. I can.
I give it a 4.5. I gave French Dispatch a 5, and I like Steve Zissou more. It has a deeper place in my heart because it's Bill Murray and Wes Anderson. This is the one that I go to all the time, but I think French Dispatch is like. I mean, of course, French Dispatch is like what, almost 20 years later.
I'm glad you just said that. We're sitting here watching this. You were like, "Well, bro, it's just back in the." I'm
it
like,
doesn't feel like that long
18 years ago.
2000 still is like 10 years ago.
I'm telling him doing the movie. Hey, it was 18 years ago. He's like, "No, it wasn't, man. It came out in 2004." And I was like, "Maybe I did the math wrong."
But of course, you know, in almost 2 decades, Wes Anderson has honed in on those skills, and you could see how like. He's still doing the same style with French Dispatch, but it's all been so refined and
from
he's
done before,
and he's got bigger budgets to play with.
Well,
now,
of course,
and more actors are like flocking to him, like they just want to be.
Put
in
it this way:
movies.
watching this is one of those films where, and just like French Dispatch, I liken it to if you ever be like watch the Oscars and be like, how did that film get nominated? I never even heard of it. I didn't know it was out. This would be one of those ones because you didn't hear about it, and because sometimes people they know, hey, listen. We'll make money off the Oscar buzz and things of that nature, but we won't necessarily win them at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But then again, so all in all, I give it a 3.8. And again, I'm gonna
right now I'm gonna put up a list of, according to Rotten Tomatoes, right about here will be a list of what the Wes Anderson films are ranked according to critical reception. So I'd be interested to see what that is, how that stacks up against the rest of them. I don't think that.
Probably Royal Tenenbaums they're going to say number one because that's more widely accepted.
And like the ones that, I'm blanking on the ones that came out more recently. But yeah, I think that stacks low with audience and critics, the Life Aquatic, for some weird reason. He just, that one was so, more so than any other Wes Anderson movie, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is like unapologetically Wes Anderson. Like, and all the other ones you can see where he compromises a little bit or bends to make it a little bit more universally friendly. But this one was like,
no, go for it.
Yeah.
He makes no excuse for that pirate scene.
Yeah.
He makes no excuse for Bill Murray going full last action hero.
And the movie itself is low key about a film crew making a film that's just like whatever.
I would be remiss if we didn't talk about when I knew I was going to sit here and I was locked in for the whole time. And by the way, I did sit through the whole thing.
Hold on, wait, before you do that, let me check the...
How you shooting this, Vic, from wide open?
Okay, you're good.
Awesome. Esteban. That beginning scene when they were like, what did they say?
Esteban was eaten.
They were like, was he bitten?
Eaten! Is he dead? Esteban was eaten!
No, when he first came up, he was like,
keep it rolling.
That's Esteban. Is that thing rolling?
Keep it. Now, his best friend.
He hasn't even got the ocean out of his lungs yet. He's spitting it out. He's like,
keep it rolling.
Esteban was eaten.
But what do you see before you see all this blood?
Esteban was eaten. Check the scanning monitor.
They were like, he was bitten? He was like, no, he was eaten. Was he killed? He was eaten.
He was swallowed whole. Chewed. Check the scanning monitor. He's got crazy eyes. Steve, they said you got the crazy eyes. Get him out of the fucking water.
Steve, they think you got crazy eye. Get him out of the fucking water.
And I hope we don't get him in trouble because Pete have never seen this one. This motherfucker says, they were like, well, what are you going to do if you find it? He was like,
now I'm going to go hunt down that shark, or whatever it is, and hopefully kill it. I don't know how yet. Maybe dynamite.
All in all, it's an intelligent, fun ride. I think it's something that I'm surprised I didn't see it. But again, I want to make it very clear. If you're a person that loves film, you know how people can be. You don't want to be around casual film watchers watching this. You need to lock in, be with somebody else that really loves it, or just be by yourself to fully appreciate it because that's what I would say.
I agree.
All right.
Thanks for checking it out, man.
Hey, guys, and guys, if just like every week, please don't forget to don't wish for it, work for it, follow your dreams.
Hey, do your best and don't worry about the rest. Get it off your chest.
That's what she said. Take it away, Z.
But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. I've got a list of names and yours is in red on the line. I check it once and then I check it twice.
Hey guys, hey gals. Did you like that?
Mm-hmm.
I know I did. And here's something YouTube thinks you'll like. They've actually recommended. What do you recommend?
I recommend that if you have not subscribed to our channel, that you please click right down there and make sure you correct that wrong this very instant.
Let me ask a question. Where can they find us?
All those places over there, we're everywhere. Everywhere.
We thought we could do a cooler outro. We're just going to walk away now.